A local woman with a family to feed is now terrified to show up to work.
And people that we don't even know, that don't live in our state, in our city, have been threatening our lives.
The scandal involving her job that makes her and others a target. Plus, hundreds or even thousands of dollars could be waiting on you tonight.
Big surprise. I had no idea these accounts were even there.
We are on your side, helping you find some unclaimed cash. First Coast News at 11 starts now.
And we start tonight with breaking news. 2 women are dead, 6 other people injured, including children, after a head-on crash in Satsuma. That's in southern Putnam County. Florida Highway Patrol tells us that a Sonata and an Expedition collided. Both people in the Sonata died. Now, right now, several lanes are blocked on Highway 17 in both directions. Investigators are trying to determine if alcohol played a role.
And we'll be sure to keep you updated with the very latest on that situation. But let's talk about this next story. Terrified to go to work and provide for their families tonight, we're talking about those employees at Cruisers Grill at the beach. They tell us that they're getting death threats in the wake of accusations that the owner said that employees have been spitting in the food of law enforcement.
Now, the owner denies ever saying that, but the controversy has been hurting their business. Julia Janae is on your side tonight. She spoke with an employee who's concerned now about her safety.
That's right. This iconic Jack's Beach restaurant says that it doesn't plan to take any legal action against the police department. But here on this patio, they say there was an act of vandalism last night, and one employee tells me she's scared to come to work.
Scary. There's been a lot of threats coming in to the employees, and people that we don't even know, that don't live in our state, in our city, have been threatening our lives and our families.
Tammy Gordon has worked at Cruisers for 11 years.
I have children. I'm worried to wear my Cruisers jacket out in public when I'm shopping with them because people will say something, and I don't want that for them.
She says the threats started after reports began circulating that Bobby Handmaker admitted his employees spit in the food of officers. On Tuesday, the owner denied saying that.
They misquoted you. Yes, correct.
But Thursday afternoon, Cruiser's attorney says he can't confirm whether the statement was made.
If he said it, it was because he was angry, upset, and not thinking. And a lot of people say things in anger when they're upset without thinking, and they wish they had, but it doesn't make it true.
Attorney Mitch Stone imploring the public on behalf of the restaurant's 50 employees.
Understand that the people that are getting hurt in this are not just the owner.
The kitchen is wide open, so everybody can see everything that's being done in there. If anybody saw anyone doing it, they'd report it immediately because we have an honor system here and we follow it.
It's a 20-year reputation that's taking a tough hit over what's still one's word against the other.
You know, we hold very high respect for the boys in blue, all the first responders, and you know, we would hope that they would also know we would never do this.
Now, the attorney for Cruisers says they are going to sit down and work with the police and this community to try and put this incident behind them. Reporting from Jacksonville Beach, Julia Janae, First Coast News.
If you live in the Riverside and Lackawanna neighborhoods, take a look right now at your screen. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says this man that you see here, 20-year-old Malik Riley, is wanted and has active warrants for shooting a gun in public and aggravated assault, among some other charges tonight. So if you see him, do not approach him, but you do need to call JSO immediately.
Now to a major update. More than 2,000 First Coast News viewers got money from the state today that they never knew they had. Florida has $1 billion worth of unclaimed money and property. So today we hosted a phone bank where we took your calls to see if you had any unclaimed cash or property. And a lot of you did. And now we're hearing your story. Stephen Dial is live tonight in the newsroom with this exciting news. And Stephen, we're talking about a lot of cash claimed today.
A lot of money, Heather. I can only find $4. But today we help people find nearly $500,000. A lot of people woke up this morning not knowing that they were owed money by the state. I spoke with a woman tonight who is $800 richer because of our story.
Big surprise. I had no idea these accounts were even there.
Did you know that Florida has more than $1 billion in unclaimed money and property? Lisa Raquel Hamowitz found out by watching First Coast News.
I went onto the site and all I had to do was put in my name, and then you click OK and it lists if you have any accounts. And if you do, you click on those, and then individually you have to put in some personal information.
Thursday, First Coast News held a phone bank and helped thousands of people get nearly $500,000. For Raquel Hemowitz, she got
Almost $800, and I had no idea. It took me about 10 minutes.
It's a resource that a lot aren't aware of. Our job as a news organization is to help and inform viewers, something that Raquel Hemowitz is thankful for.
You were on my side, for sure. I'm very thankful to you guys, because I never would have known.
So if you want to be like her and get some money that you're owed by the state, go to our website, firstcoastnews.com. We have that information so that hopefully you can get a little cash. From the newsroom, Stephen Dial, First Coast News.
We have a situation where the security of our country is at stake, and it's a very, very serious situation.
President Donald Trump is not happy tonight about the ruling on his travel ban. 3 federal appeals judges came to a unanimous decision against it. So that means refugees and other travelers from 7 mostly Muslim countries can still enter the U.S. Within minutes of the ruling, the president tweeted out, "See you in court. The security of our nation is at stake." The president says he still believes this is a decision the administration will win very easily going forward.
Today, former Congresswoman Corrine Brown asked for her federal trial to be pushed back. A judge, though, denied that request. Now, she wanted more time because her former chief of staff, Ronnie Simmons, agreed yesterday to testify against her. Brown's attorney said all along she and Simmons planned to plead not guilty. And now that Simmons has decided to take the stand against her, it changes the case. Brown's attorney says he now has to do background research on Simmons, all in an effort to try to discredit his testimony.
I don't do sign language. What is the sign language to show that you got a broken heart? Because I do have one.
The one thing that she did let me know yesterday is that she intends to pray for him. She knows that this has been a tough time, and she knows that when the government brings pressure on you, when the government threatens to indict your family members, sometimes it's very difficult and people can break. So she still cares for him, loves him, and will continue to pray for him.
Brown and Simmons were indicted last year. Prosecutors say they set up a bogus education charity and used the donations as their personal slush fund. Brown's defense team says she has no plans to accept a plea agreement. Her next hearing is scheduled for April.
We're learning more about a mystery in St. Johns County. We do know that authorities there have identified a body that was found floating in the ocean about 3 miles off the coast of Ponte Vedra Beach. The sheriff's office says that body was that of 37-year-old Nerman Hadrovich of Jacksonville. Boaters discovered the body yesterday. The official cause of death is still pending an autopsy. The woman believed to have been kidnapped as a baby from a Jacksonville hospital 18 years ago was pleading not guilty. Her kidnapper, that is. Police say Gloria Williams took Kamaya Mobley, now known as Alexis Manigo, hours after her birth in Jacksonville. Alexis was found safe in South Carolina last month and has publicly supported her alleged kidnapper. So far, Williams is the only person charged in connection to that case. She's expected back in court in April.
Some very exciting news for Jacksonville University. Today, the university announced that it is teaming up with the popular shark tracking research group OSearch. So here are a few things that we already know about sharks. They average around 13 feet long. They weigh around 1,300 pounds. And did you know that sharks, they don't have any bones. They are made up of a tough, flexible cartilage similar to the human ear and nose. And there are more than 350 species of sharks. The smallest sharks, they're only 6 inches long. Now local researchers are hoping to learn a lot more. And tonight, First Coast News' Monica Garcia takes a look at what this means for the university and how it will put Jacksonville on the world stage.
Here we go.
The world stage for the study of great whites, tiger sharks, and other marine species will now be happening right in your own backyard.
We should warn them.
In the deep ocean waters, right off our shores.
To know now that we have an academic home for students around the world, a home for our science.
This is all part of the launch of OSearch at Jacksonville University.
Forward.
The group OSearch is best known for its global shark tracking project.
This is clearly a much older fish.
Their work has given people a never-before-seen look into how sharks move, their biology, and health. On Thursday morning, the group's founder, Chris Fisher, spoke to faculty and students at JU about the endless opportunities they hope to provide.
Whether they're engineers working on the ship, captains and crew, and it will move way beyond the obvious marine biology play to give all of these students a real-life opportunity to participate in a real-life social enterprise.
Marine science student Christina Labuglio says the partnership couldn't have come at a better time.
As a whole, graduating, it's going to help us 100% because we are already branching out in that aspect with OSearch coming in.
When OSearch is not exploring the vast oceans across the globe, the group's 126-foot vessel will be docked right here in Jacksonville.
It's just going to help research in the future. It's going to help Jacksonville University in the future. It's going to help the city of Jacksonville in the future, and everything just comes together in unison as one.
The university hopes the collaboration will magnify its public profile far beyond Jacksonville as a premier academic home for marine science research. Monica Garcia, First Coast News.
Really
Wow,
exciting.
how cool is that? Music working wonders. How learning piano is helping children accomplish things they never imagined.
Plus, orange is the new green. Look at this, an unusual, very unusual gator. That's the internet of buzz tonight. We'll break down why this gator is orange coming up next.
And the position of the New England blizzard and the direction it's headed is actually good news for us in a big way this week, and we'll take a close look.
Wow, music is something that most of us enjoy. The ability to learn how to play an instrument is even more special. And there are some students right here on the First Coast who play the piano, all thanks to a music teacher who is inspiring students to do things they never thought possible. First Coast News reporter Honey Rodriguez has that story tonight.
9-year-old Maddie Gardner is learning to play the piano.
They call me Miss Ty. In the past, she's wanted a lot of direction around those 3 black keys, but today she discovered that this whole piano is made up of 3 black keys. 1, 2, 3 black keys. Somebody might say that was small. No, it was a leap.
Leap into a world that can so often be quiet and distant, but today was filled with music.
We do music with our whole body. That's what I was tuning, was her instrument, her body, so that she could then come and be tuned to the moment.
A moment that is vital for kids like Maddie who were diagnosed with autism.
This is a way of getting a child to know that somebody sees them.
And share something we can all hear.
Bluebird, bluebird through my window. It is something that exists in life for all of us.
Miss Ty not only helps Maddie find her balance, but also encourages her to get out of her comfort zone.
Stand up. You see that, Caitlin? Wow, that took courage.
And that's what's most special about Maddie. She's not afraid to try.
She didn't back away from trying to do. I told her your name was Honey, and she did it right away. Watch, Maddie. Time to go. Time to go. Wow.
Although the class focuses on music, Miss Ty also reminds us to listen with our hearts.
Open your heart to what it is that speaks to you with the child. It will come through so easily.
Amazing story there by Hani. The Jacksonville School for Autism relies on donations to keep programs like Mrs. Ty's free for students who attend the school. That beautiful piano you saw there was donated and is now an integral part of the much-needed therapy. For more information, go to our website, firstcoastnews.com.
Oh, great story there. Well, today I was honored to take part in the Heart of the Runway fashion show benefiting the North Florida School of Special Education. It was a great turnout at a beautiful venue at Linda Cunningham's Designer Boutique in San Marco. Look at this. I got to walk the runway in her gorgeous clothes with these beautiful angels and some of their moms. The school serves students with mild to moderate intellectual disabilities in the greater Jacksonville area. The campus is also home to Very Good Farms, where these students get hands-on experience in the urban organic farm. So a lot of fun today.
Beautiful. That's wonderful. Last month we showed you the video of this big guy, that dinosaur, that's what I call him, walking around a preserve in Tampa, and you may have thought that maybe you've seen it all. Well, an orange alligator has been found in South Carolina. Many people have been speculating about what caused that alligator to go orange. Some scientists think the color is due to rust from a steel pipe. Others have suggested the gator will shed its skin, as the animals regularly do, and return to its natural shade soon enough.
Huh.
I don't
Never
know.
seen that before.
That's too close to the color of the ground, to dirt. He might hide too easily. I don't want to meet him.
Hey, we've got a heads up for all of you who use the St. Johns River Ferry. Due to low tidal conditions, over the next few days, service is going to be suspended from 12:30 to 3:30 on Friday, 1:30 to 4:30 on Saturday, and 2 to 5 p.m. on Sunday. We also have all that on our website.
Tonight, we're already seeing some canceled or delayed flights out of JIA because of a storm that's happening in the northeast. The fast-moving storm rolled in this morning, packing some powerful winds and dumped up to a foot of snow in cities from New York to Boston. Blizzard warnings remain in effect, and right now, there are at least 6 flights canceled heading to New York from JIA tomorrow morning, so be sure to check with your airline before heading out. I actually saw a picture, too, on Facebook of people walking through the snow in New York, right there in Times Square.
Wow. And here we are on the first coast, but I will tell you, I left the station tonight around 6 o'clock, and it was mild, but when I came back outside a few hours later,
It's dropping like a rock.
It was chilly.
The dew points have dropped. Thankfully, that storm hit just after our Olympian, Joni Benoit Samuelson, made it here to be with us for the Donna. So glad that storm headed off in that direction and took that timing. And also, because of the direction, do you see it? It's not really headed east, that is out to sea. This system is headed north. In fact, there's New York and Boston and Cape Elizabeth and then up due north. And that means high pressure is dropping due south. So what about the high pressure? Well, that means low dew points. Look at this, middle 20 dew points. So what? Well, the drier the air, once the sun does set, those temperatures drop, like Heather mentioned, like a rock. In fact, tomorrow morning, as you're heading to work and school, and the blizzard heads through the Canadian Maritime provinces and high pressure settles in over the first coast, tomorrow morning, forget about wind chill. The actual temperature will be about 30 to 35 degrees colder as we head to work and school tomorrow morning as compared to what we had this morning. And then the high pressure system, which raced our way, is not going to move much. I think it wants to hang around and check out the Donna and the weekend to finish it as well. We'll talk about the weekend in a bit, but for tomorrow, again, a cold start, but a beautiful day, just polar blue skies for the day. Temperatures may drop into the middle 30s north and west of downtown. What about beyond at Duval? Well, northwest of the Okefenokee, I think there will be some patchy frost with lows of 34, more like the middle and upper 30s for coastal Georgia. Over the Suwannee River Valley, could be some patchy frost, lows of 34 degrees farther off to the south. Putnam County, St. John's, Flagler, more like the lower 40s, but still that means you will start off with temperatures about 30 degrees colder than they were. On the beach, a beautiful sunrise as far as the colors, but a high temperature of only 60 degrees as the winds will not be as strong as today, but there will be a light breeze off the ocean. Remember, surf temperature is only 62 to 63 degrees. But then we moderate further. That is warm up during the afternoon. Remember, all of the activity, most of the activity on Saturday is going to be downtown at the Expo, 5K, 10K, 1 mile fun run, 42 to 74. I say most because the ultra marathoners, those doing 110 miles, start Saturday. They'll continue through Sunday with the rest of us. Weather looking very nice on the weekend to finish it. Now it's over to Chris with, well, some more sports.
Thank you, Tim. We've got hoops, and more hoops. UNF, JU, and on the Prep Hardwood girls district tourney action. But first, Grayson Allen showed out for Duval as Duke hosted North Carolina. Folks, we're pumping up the volume. Next in sports.
From the Farrah and Farrah Sports Desk, it's First Coast Sports.
Hello, everybody. It's one of the most intense and best rivalries in all of college basketball, Duke and North Carolina. And tonight, Jacksonville native Grayson Allen and the Blue Devils welcome the Tar Heels to Cameron Indoor Stadium. And can I just be frank? Can I just keep it real? Grayson Allen balled tonight, and boy, did he ball when it mattered most. The give and go with Duke up by 4, make it by 6, two-handed jam. Linwood, Center Stage Barbershop, that highlight was for you. Under a minute 30 left. Duke up by 2 and just give the ball to Grayson Allen, release rotation, splash. He had 25 points. Duke has now won 12 of his last 15 meetings against North Carolina, winning the game a final 78. How about more men's hoops? UNF hosting NJIT. Ugly start for the Ospreys. Don't believe me, just watch. Shaquan Gibbs from downtown. You do you, I do three. Highlanders take an early double-digit lead, but here comes Dallas Moore, who says, give me some more. No problem for beyond the arc. ATL native Chris Davenport going strong in the post with the kiss off the glass. Ospreys swooping. They won a final 91-69. USC Upstate at JU. Can the Dolphins, who've been struggling, get it going tonight? Second half, Marcel White from JU turnaround three-pointer, just like Maxwell House Coffee, good to the last drop. But check this out. Sophomore Malik Moore had it going for USC Upstate. The Jam, oh, Jam. The Dolphins, yeah, their struggles continue. They lost tonight, 70-67. Boys district championship games going down tomorrow night, but tonight it was all about the ladies as they open district tourney play action. Let's get over to Reebok as they welcome Wolfson. Sheila Pennick, one of the best coaches in the country, pacing the sideline, but no reason tonight because her team is on it. Tiana Williams with the easy lay-in. Off the Wolfson steal, Danisha Banks, always money, down in the post. Oh, Sheila Pennick's girls going to work. Later on, Renaya Davis, one of the best players in the country, misses that three-pointer, but Banks says, I got you, goes back up strong. Reebok wins big, 63-38. Student section loud in the house tonight as the Bowles Lady Bulldogs hosted Bradford. Bowles up by double digits. Sid Sims taking the defender to school. She goes baseline. Oh, they're loving it over on the south side of Jacksonville. Then Abigail Witt, she says, I can stroke it from downtown, and she proves it. Bowles running away with this one. There's Campbell for Race with the easy lay-in. Bulldogs won big, a final 64-39. Florida State will hold its annual Garnet and Gold Spring Game Saturday, April 8th at the Doak. Kickoff is slated for 3 o'clock. General admission is $5. And let's go to the NFL. With the Super Bowl over and done with, it's time to start the mock draft season. The Jaguars own the 4th overall pick in this year's draft. Our Jaguars beat writer Michael Kay released his first mock draft of the year today. And if you're not a Jags fan, no problem. His mock draft looks at all 32 NFL picks in the first round. It's in the sports section of firstcoastnews.com. First from you, a big congratulations to Stetson Bennett. He signed with Georgia today as a preferred walk-on. Stetson with his dad and coaches. Thanks, Jennifer, for emailing us this photo to sports@firstcoastnews.com. And we close with a little hashtag team sidelining. We're shining the spotlight on the Impact Academy cheerleaders. The young ladies had a great season. Thanks, George Dallas, for always posting photos on Instagram using the hashtag Team Sideline. Fantasy 5 winning numbers after this timeout. Good job, Anthony.